Hey, what's up, everyone? And whether you're an entrepreneur, marketer, business owner, chances are that at some point you have been on a job interview of some kind. And maybe during that job interview, other than just looking at your resume and asking you questions, maybe the company was smart enough to actually give you some sort of a skill test or skill assessment, let's say, or sometimes you could even call it a work sample. I remember when the last time I looked for a job, when I was actually in the job market very briefly. I was out of college. I was coming off of working on another startup um, called Blue Sky Local. Just didn't work out. It was software for restaurants to help them market. Would like send coupons on slow sales days if it detected that it was like raining or something. We said it was AI, but it was really just very basic coding. If raining, send coupon. But it was still really cool. Learned a lot from it, but just didn't know what I didn't know back then, and certainly not what I know today about digital marketing and how to bootstrap it and grow a business. It's been over 10 years now since I've been working on AutoGrow. But anyway, there was a brief period there before I started AutoGrow in 2010 when I was going on some interviews. I was going into New York City. And I remember the very last one that I went on before I made the decision and said, nope, gonna start another company and this one's gonna be successful. Um, the last one I went on was for, I think, a headhunting, recruiting type of company. And I went in and they put me in this, it was like a conference room. They sat me down and I think, some companies have sort of like almost like a hazing sort of like initiation ritual in part. Like they know if they're going to hire you kind of like right off the bat. But they bring you in, they sit you down, they give you the assessment and you start doing the assessment and they actually come in and cut you off before you're even done doing it. And I remember like just transparently knowing, I was like, okay, I know what you guys are doing here. Like, this is just part of your process. Like, you didn't even care whether or not I finished it. So I don't think there's much purpose to that skill test. But in this video today, I want to give you what I've learned over 10 years and from interviewing hundreds, hiring hundreds, and but a lot of them not working out, just over time for different reasons, not necessarily even because they were not a good hire, maybe just they weren't a right fit for the business. Um, and looking at thousands and thousands, tens of thousands actually, of applications, people who have come to our website and applied through one of our forums or one way or another. And we've just constantly been refining this process over and over. So I want to share with you today the 5-point skill test template that will help you to filter out bad hires and only bring in good hires. So all that being said, let's start with section 1 of this skill test template. So section 1 is you want to set up a deadline, okay? Test applicants' responsibility and their punctuality. In other words, no late submissions. So we have gotten, and you will get, I am certain of it, all kinds of excuses when you do this. And you want to, don't do what that headhunting firm did with me, because, you're obviously just trying to like, I don't know, have some sort of initiation process if you do that. But if you say that there's a deadline, just stick to the deadline. That's it. Otherwise, what's the point of the skill test? So give people the full time that you promise, and then hold them accountable for it, right? So no late submissions. So people will come to you with all kinds of excuses. Oh, my great grandmother died just coincidentally at the same moment that this 24-hour skill test that you gave me, or whatever the time frame is, happened. Oh, I got into a car accident. Are you okay? Yeah. Oh no, I'm fine. I'm totally fine. Just a little fender bender, but it just happened to occur at the very moment that I was taking your skill test. Can I submit? Can I submit later? The answer is no, sorry. And if you want to leave the door open for the future, you can say, well, you can reapply again in another month, another 3 months, whatever the case is. That's fine. That's up to you. But don't accept excuses. So some stats on this: the average absence rate of US employees in 2019 was 2.8 days, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, and 25% of employees showed up late to work at least once a month in 2018, according to Career Builder. The study that they conducted revealed that. So, and how are these stats useful in this case? Well, again, you're looking to test the applicant's responsibility and punctuality, the ability to just be professional, to keep deadlines, because there is a contract, whether it's an official contract that's being signed or just an agreement handshake. Okay, we're going to hire you. And when you make that contract with someone, your expectation is that they're going to show up on time and they're going to get the work done within the scope of work that is defined. And that's it. But if you're hiring someone who right off the bat is testing your systems and trying to break those systems, for their benefit, not for your company's benefit, then, you get what you tolerate. You really get what you tolerate. So don't tolerate it. Skill test section. So the second section to the skill test template here is to test their knowledge, skills, and ability to actually complete projects related to their area of expertise, and use medium/difficult tasks. Okay, medium/difficult tasks. So this is probably the most important thing. So like fundamentally, it doesn't matter where someone went to school. It doesn't matter, who referred them. The bottom line is always, can you do the work? What is your ability? Do you have a good attitude about it in terms of just being like a fit for your team? And, if you are good in terms of your ability, can you still progress over time in terms of, the company investing time into you to help you level up your skills? So that would be, that's called aptitude. Great word, by the way. So ability, attitude, and aptitude. Those are fundamentally what you need to test for. So, and fundamentally, even more basic than that, just where's their ability at right now? Can they come in and can you deploy them onto whatever tasks you need to start getting done right away? Because if they can't do it, then it's probably not a fit for any other dimension that you're tracking on. So some stats for this, 67.5% of employers surveyed said that they screen candidates by GPA, that's the National Association of Colleges and Employers that conducted that, or NACE, conducted that research. And another fact, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, and Mark Zuckerberg all left college before getting their diplomas to obviously pursue, the companies that they were starting. So that shows you a couple of things. Number one, a lot of companies, they're looking at GPA because they just want to have you're just like people coming out of college. They're coming into the job market with, like they want some sort of what they think is an objective measure of ability. In reality, though, in my opinion, it's not very useful to look at GPA. The reason is because, different schools have different levels of difficulty. So for example, I actually, I went to Stony Brook University in Long Island, New York for my first year of college. And just because I wanted to challenge myself, I said, all right, I've never really applied myself in school. So just for 1 year, I'm just going to see, can I get perfect grades? And I did. I got a 4.0 for the first 2 semesters, worked hard to earn that. And then for the second year, I transferred because I had a guaranteed transfer option to Cornell. Like actually, I got in, but they didn't have like enough space or something. So they were like, all right, just go to somewhere else for a year and get great grades and then come here, for a sophomore year onward. So that's what I did. So I went to state school my first year, and then I went to Ivy League, Cornell University in upstate New York for my second, third, and fourth year. Great university and much tougher in terms of the curriculum. And so I wasn't able, I think for a semester I tried, I was like, I'm just going to try to get a 4.0 again. And then I was like, nah, I got better things to spend my time on. And, so I ended up starting a business, my first business when I was there on campus. So that was a better use of time anyway. So anyway, you can look at GPA, but the main thing is don't let it distract you from what's really important, which is, okay, where's their ability at right now? I don't think it's the best measure in general, because there are plenty of examples, like some of those great entrepreneurs that we named, of people who, for whatever reason, may not have a great GPA. So again, you want to test people based on where they're at. Can they do the work? Skill test. So section 3 of the skill test template. And by the way, if you want the full guide and template, I encourage you, if you're watching this on YouTube, to check the link in the description. You can find a link to the article where we have the full guide and template for you to go through, and you can get it in a downloadable format, and you can read some of the more details that maybe I just not able to include for time and brevity's sake in this video. So check it out. It's in the description if you're watching this on YouTube, and it's right near that like button. And I appreciate you guys tapping that like button. Don't hit it, don't smash it, don't break it, just tap it. And I would also love to hear from you in terms of what you're finding most valuable about this or any of my other videos. Leave a comment, whether on our blog or on the YouTube video. I'd love to hear from you guys. Okay, and of course, if you're watching this on AutoGrow, just scroll on down to see some of the more detailed notes from the article. So section 3 of the skill test template. You want to test an applicant's ability to solve any problem, not necessarily related to their job position. And why do you want to do this? You want to do this because you need thinkers, not just robotic soldiers, okay? Especially robotic soldiers where if one instruction is just like out of place, it's like the system melts down. It's like, I don't know, I was confused. Like, what am I supposed to do? So you want to give some sort of an assessment of, what is their ability as far as their professional judgment? How do they deal with a situation where if the only thing they're given is a goal, but the process of how you achieve or communicate or get the work done towards accomplishing that goal is completely ambiguous? You want to test how do they react and respond to that. Critical thinking, I think, is one of the most underrated skills in general, because if you are capable of reading, retaining, integrating that information into your mind and into your work and be able to apply it, I think, because if you can do that, you have infinite potential as an employee, and and many other companies would love to hire you. By the way, if you want to work with AutoGrow, you should go, and probably most of the people watching this, well, actually, I don't know, maybe there are a lot of freelancers who might be watching this. So if you are, we're hiring aggressively right now. So go check us out, autogrow.co. Okay, so some facts about this. According to SHRM, the top missing soft skills are problem solving and critical thinking skills. So exactly what I just said. And 83% of jobs require analytical skills. In other words, again, critical thinking, that ability to judge and work your way through and problem solve different situations. So that's according to the State of the American Job Report from Pew Research. Section 4 of the skill test template: evaluate candidates' verbal and written communication skills. In other words, how well do they communicate in general with anyone? All right, how well do they? And I think it's also good to just kind of go off on a tangent for a second to test for flexibility. Okay, test for flexibility. So this isn't one of the 5 sections that I'm going over in this video, but I found it's really good to test for flexibility in a way that puts a little bit of stress on the candidate, because you want to know, everyone is always putting their best face on, their best foot forward. And you want to know, okay, what is this person really like if, the situation is unclear, or you turn up the heat a little bit in terms of just, a little bit of a stressful situation. Maybe a client is complaining, something like this, or something is late. Or, just in terms of flexibility of, like the situation, like, oh, like, a missing piece of instruction. Like, do they see it? Do they ask for it? Or are they just going to be annoyed by it? Oh my God, the instructions weren't perfect. We actually had an applicant that we were testing who was like that recently, and it was really good in a way because it helped us. It pointed out areas where we could make our system and just our internal processes better. But that's across the board. We are always tweaking our internal systems and documentation, like every single day, literally. But that person was just like, bye, I'm gone. It's not perfect. So test for flexibility, because you don't want to get invested with someone who isn't reasonable in that dimension. Okay, so back to evaluating verbal and written communication, in general, how well they communicate with anyone. So some facts about this: oral and written communication. It's one of the top skills that employers look for, according to, once again, research from NACE. And another survey from SHRM, SHRM stands for human resources management, but I think maybe we'll put the full name on the screen for you guys. So a survey from SHRM showed that 400 companies with 100,000 employees each stated an average loss per company of $62.4 million per year because of poor communication to and between employees. Okay. And this is becoming just an increasingly more and more important skill as the workforce is, I don't know, stratified might be the right word, but certainly working remotely, where people are communicating, through text, and there's a certain level of emotional intelligence, emotional awareness that you need, and just maybe not even emotional so much as empathetic, like understanding how your message can be perceived through text coming through from someone else, as well as being very aware of, when you're communicating in a way that is not 100% clear, or you might be leaving some important detail out. I mean, if you want to understand like how inefficient your communication might be right now, just try doing text-based communication across the board, with your employees for a week. But if you want perhaps just a better kind of simulated example of that, just look at, many couples often will get into fights over text message. And why is that? It's because text does not convey emotion. And that's why there's, emojis to kind of help with that. But also because a lot of information can be left out. And so things can look ambiguous and people can kind of make up their own interpretation or story. So specificity is so important in terms of written communication as well as verbal communication. And skill test template, section number 5 from the skill test template, last section. You want to test their reliability and personality to see if they're a cultural fit for your company. Jobs requiring social skills have grown 83%, according to the State of the American Job Report from Pew Research. And 92% of professionals say soft skills, like just the ability to, even something as simple as just making small talk, because there are a lot of moments I notice with my team where we're just kind of, we're just making jokes and, we're just having a little bit of fun. And that's important, because if you're just like, I don't know, like a rock, it's a little hard to get along. Like, or for example, it's just like, you're just like always looking at the clock. So those are things to be aware of, and those are things that you should hire for. But just to wrap up with that last stat, 92% of professionals say soft skills matter much more than hard skills when they are hiring. And that's according to a research survey from LinkedIn. So 92%. Okay. And I think a good example of this is, for example, our ads manager, our copywriter, our quality assurance specialist, pretty much everyone on our team it's just really great. Like this is something that we really look for, and that I personally really look for. It's just like the ability to have like a, you know, kind of a human conversation, you know, tell me what you're interested in, you know, hobbies, things like this, what's important to you, you know, family, you know, movies, games, whatever you're into, things you do on a Friday night, what are you doing for the weekend. And it's interesting, you know, so be interested in other people, and those people are also interested in you. So test, or look for that as certainly a very important benefit to have as part of your team. All right, so that is the 5-point skill test template to help you hire only good applicants and to filter out the bad ones. Because, you know, simply relying on, you know, where'd you go to school? What was your GPA? You know, did someone refer you or not? You know, and any other just extraneous background information, just give them a skill test instead. You know, that should be the most basic way to apply to work with you on a job. Like just stop, throw out your resume, your current resume system. We haven't looked at resumes since I think 2011. We just completely did away with them after our first year in business. So I recommend you do the same. All right, so that's it for this video. And speaking of hiring and all of the potential headaches that and challenges that come with it, you should check out autogrow.co, because with autogrow.co, you can delegate all of your digital marketing projects and tasks without the headaches of hiring. And we have a special going on right now. We have a $7 for 7-day trial. So we make it very, very easy for you to actually try it out. And what it is AutoGrow is like project management software, but with proven professionals, copywriters, designers, developers, strategists, and more already inside the software, ready to receive and get work done for you. So you should check us out by going to autogrow.co. Again, if you want to delegate all your digital marketing tasks and projects without the headaches or challenges of hiring. And what that looks like is you simply pick your package. It's a monthly subscription, log into the system. You can submit as many requests, as many projects to us to work on as you want. And every day we will work on the queue. All you have to do is sit back, relax, and watch as the progress bar goes from 0 to 100%. Give us feedback. There's an integrated live chat. You can talk with your project manager right there. Also digital marketing strategists as well, if you want to talk anything or brainstorm ideas about strategy. And it's just an amazing value, and it solves a really big problem. So hope you check us out. Go to autogrow.co right now. All right. So as always, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. But until then, keep auto growing and stay focused. I'll talk to you soon.